We are live with Lunch Break Live. NJ, Nathan-Josias, what are you making today? Take it away.
Hey, how are you today? I have some cilantro dumplings. So I'm gonna start with the cilantro directly. It's washed. I'm just gonna start to finely chop it, finely but grossly. So no need to be really precise here. Just want to take your cilantro. Make sure that you're comfortable with your knife game. If you're not, you can just chop it with a machine. Here, in a bowl, I'm gonna add my cilantro. So cilantro dumplings with a peanut and coconut sauce is gonna be absolutely delicious. Everything in less than 20 minutes. Perfect for the lunch break. Here I'm gonna add my flour, 150 gram of flour to the bowl. Boom, it goes directly in it. Baking powder, really important to make everything rise together. And don't worry, just add it everything at the same time and we'll mix later. I add some nutritional yeast. Amazing. It's gonna give a lot of flavor, a lot of color. At the same time, I'm gonna add my oil. So olive oil here. I love olive oil. For me, it's the oil when it's good. When it's good oil, it brings so much taste. It just change everything. I add some plant milk of your choice. I love soy milk. That's my preference. Make sure there's organic soy milk. Here in Europe, we have a lot of European organic soy milk. My lights just turned off. Uh, I'm gonna switch it right after. Let's try to keep going. Just before mixing everything together, here I have some sriracha mayo. So sriracha mayo basically is just vegan mayo with sriracha sauce. You can buy it already made, or you can make it at home. I'm using approximately 2 tablespoons of sriracha mayo in it. If you're more fan of mustard, you can go for mustard here. The aim is just to add something that will give a lot of bit of spiciness to the dish. I'm gonna use salt and pepper at your convenience, especially for pepper. Try to keep it light with the salt, and boom, everything's in the bowl. I'm just gonna use my tablespoon that I have right here and start to mix, combine everything together until I have a beautiful dough. Let me come and show you that at the camera. So you see it's getting really thick. So these dumplings, we're gonna cook them in the pan. We're gonna make sure that they steam. So here, don't be afraid. Let's go with our hands. Just gonna go with our hands to make sure that everything is together and already tastes delicious. If you don't like cilantro, you can always go for a mix of basil. You can use some whatever herbs you like the most. It can be maybe mint if you want some fresh flavors in this dish. I love cilantro. Some people cannot even think about cilantro, but that's fine. For me, it'll be fine. I'm just gonna add a bit of flour, a bit more flour. So if right now this is how my dough is looking like, but don't be afraid if you think that it's a bit too wet. Just add a bit of flour to make sure that you're gonna dry a bit the mix.
And we are live with Lunch Break Live. We have this amazing chef who's coming to us live from. Where are you right now?
Right now I'm in London, here again for a week before heading back to Germany, where I used to live before, just for a month. So it's a pleasure to share you my recipe right here from London. Okay,
We
next step
love
right
it.
here for my
Yes.
dumplings. I'm just gonna take this out of the dough. I'm gonna roll it into bowl. So roll it into beautiful shaped bowl, and that's one bowl to go. Let's go until the whole dough is done. And yes, so I'm here in London. I will be in Germany next month, and in France also, back to interview some of my favorite chefs as I'm starting and launching a new podcast that will be available on YouTube soon. So keep moving on the culinary journey as we have so many amazing vegan chefs around the world. It's never we never have enough recipe to be shared.
You are right. I just want to say vegan dumplings in the house. These are coriander dumplings, y'all. We are learning how to make these plant-based dumplings right here, right now. Thank you so much for being here with us and take it away. I love how we're global now with this technology, bringing Lunch Break Live Daily to you from all over the world. Take it away. Back to you.
That's really amazing, actually, if I can say so. That I'm here in London and you're able, from your location, wherever you are, to just enjoy the meal that we're gonna make all together. Here I have onion. We're gonna start to roughly chop the onion and we're gonna put it in the pan that is right behind me. So no need to make really small onion cuts. I just put it in the pot that is right behind me. You can see it at the screen right here. I'm gonna add a bit of olive oil. Always be generous with olive oil when you like it. But don't make sure that you don't go too high with the heat when you use olive oil. I'm gonna add my onions right here. And now for a few minutes we have to let everything cook together until the onions are well caramelized, and then we'll be able to bring the dumplings into it. And during this break, what we're gonna do is, for myself, I'm gonna make some rice, whatever you want to make at home. Could be pasta, it could be anything. Just get yourself a pot, a bit of water. So there are many different ways to cook rice. My favorite one would be just one volume of rice going with 2 volume of water. But sometimes it's important to change the way you're gonna cook your rice. So right now I'm just gonna boil a huge volume of water and I will add the measure of rice I want to eat. Because the way you cook the rice, you have different nutrients. I mean, it's easier to get different nutrients. To change, you can steam your rice. It's really common in the Asian culture to steam the rice, and it tastes absolutely delicious. If you never had some steamed rice with mint, coriander, actually I love coriander, you can tell, peanuts, anytime you want to make some summer rolls, steamed rice is really a go-to.
Nice. Okay. What's next in the dumpling land over there? Because I am taking notes step by step. This is so amazing.
Okay, so here I have a lime. I love lime better than lemon, so I'm just gonna cut the lime in half. And as my onions start to sing, this is how you know that they start to be a bit golden. As my onions start to sing, I'm just gonna add deglaze. This is how you call when something is in hot oil. You call it deglaze when you add a liquid. That could be water, that could be balsamic. I'm going to deglaze with a bit of lime juice and keep the other half for later because I love, so you can tell there's really a lot of Asian, at the same time African, because in Africa and Cameroon especially, we have a lot of dish with peanut butter. I think what brings really the Asian touch is the sriracha in this dish. And the coconut milk is really common in Africa and Asia. Just gonna take a tablespoon. Everything is singing over here, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add my dumplings to the pot, to the pan. Let me show you. Right here, I'll just place them really randomly, okay? No need to be worried about where you have to put your dumplings. I'm just gonna place them a bit everywhere. I'm gonna let them cook few moments in the pan without nothing. So about 1 or 2 minutes, just to have one side that would be really crispy. And then at this moment, I will add my full fat coconut milk. Make sure you have a full fat coconut milk. It makes a difference. For me, there are two milk that I really like, two plant-based milk. Of course, that I really like is the coconut milk and also the cashew milk. But one reason they're really fatty, I really like this feeling that it brings to the dish. Fat, salt are really the basic to have an amazing plant-based dish.
I love it. Thank you, everybody. We are coming to you live all the way from London with
Yeah.
this amazing chef who's on his way to Germany, who spent a lot of time in France. And didn't you get trained to be a chef in Spain? Is that
No,
right?
no, I got trained. So this is why it's really interesting for me. I got trained to be a chef in France, in the south of France, and I'm really happy to be able, in a month, to go and see my pastry teacher in my vegan school that actually used to work in London for more than 5 years as a normal, I mean, in restaurants, in some store, Michelin star restaurant, and decided when he turned plant-based to go back in France and open his first, one of the first vegan bakery in France. And believe me, the croissant and pain au chocolat are just amazing. It's time to put the coconut milk. So I told you 1 or 2 minutes is more than enough. I add my coconut milk to the pan. I'm gonna add a bit of water also. Perfect. I'm gonna add, as I say, it's peanuts. We have really peanut flavors here. I'm gonna add a big tablespoon of peanut butter. I choose to go with the smooth peanut butter, so at home I always have smooth and crunchy peanut butter. Make sure that you have 100% peanut butter organic if possible, because a lot of peanut butter contain palm oil. Palm oil that can have many different ways to be produced, but at the same time, when you want to go for peanut butter, you don't want to have palm oil or anything else than a good peanut butter. Peanut butter can even be made at home. You can roast your peanuts and let them just cook for a few times, and then you just blend them in a blender. It just tastes amazing. Right now, oh my lord, at home, if you're doing the dish right now for this lunch break, you can surely smell this amazing flavor. And if you're not, that's a reason for you to make it tonight. When you come home, you have the list of the ingredients. You have the video right here. Make sure you watch it again. And you're gonna make an amazing dish because right now, directly from
Woo!
I'm having some amazing Asian flavors that are coming to me.
Ooh, I'm hoping that you can bring the pan close to us so we can see up close and personal. Everybody, welcome. This is Nathan. I just put in the chat where you can find him. He's going to come around and show us up close and personal making these vegan
Okay,
dumplings. Oh my
that's
gosh. Yes.
the
Yes.
sauce is so beautiful. It's just amazing. Okay, I'm gonna let it cook. To make sure that it cooks really well, you know, we have baking powder uh, in this in these dumplings. So what I'm gonna do to make sure that it cooks really well, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cover. Unfortunately, the pot I have today, the pan I have today, don't have a lid. But to make sure that you can cover it and to help the steam, I'm gonna use some aluminum foil. You just have to wrap it all around your pot. And if you have a cover, it will be more efficient, of course. And for the next 10 minutes, a bit less, for the next 10 minutes, we're gonna let it cook. It's gonna be amazing. And in 5 minutes or so, we're gonna add, here we have 2 cups of baby spinach. So as much as possible, try to eat your greens every dish. There's always a way to add your greens. Actually, spinach, baby spinach, are one of my favorite because it doesn't feel like you eat greens. You just have a huge volume. You can put 1 kilo of baby spinach, and you end up with a really small portion, and it just tastes delicious. We're not gonna lie to each other. Just a bit of salt, bit of pepper, and everything is magic. At the same time, right here, I have my water for the rice that is boiling. So I'm gonna take my rice. Try small advice. I mean, a small recommendation, if you can, is to try to find some local store to reduce the waste. I know it's not always possible. Moving here in London, I discovered that it was not that easy as in Berlin. In Berlin, everything was so easy to just get zero waste. A store here in London, most of the thing in plastic. When possible, when I have the time, I try to go to bulk store and just try to reduce the waste and have a lot of jars. So right here, I'm gonna add my rice. I have, you can see my rice is a whole grain rice. This is why it's not white rice, but you can go with some basmati rice. Just as I say, you can go with pasta also. Make sure that you have something that's gonna soak the sauce. And there we go. I put approximately half a cup of rice in my boiling water. And I'm gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes, just the time for my dumplings to cook at the same time. Hey Google, set a timer for 7 minutes.
Sure, 7 minutes. And we're starting now.
That's my best friend in the kitchen. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen by myself, trying some recipe, experiencing recipe, or even cooking for me or my girlfriend. And really often Google become really useful, or any voice assistant become really useful just to have a timer, because especially when we bake things, we never made a bake session here on lunch break, but we'll make one. When you bake something, if you don't have a timer, it can happen really often that you burn things. Just make sure you tie up your kitchen along the way, especially that we're gonna serve everything right after. And don't forget, we still have the half of the lime that we're gonna use. You can put away your peanut butter, keep your salt and pepper, especially the pepper, to give a bit of extra spice to the dish at the last moment. I'm just gonna let it cook. It's gonna be amazing. It's, I think one of the kitchen today, I was eating a food with my girlfriend, and we're sharing the fact that how much grateful we are for Asian cuisine, and actually for this possibility to have this exchange. So I've done my training as a cook in France, but today I'm sharing with you an Asian inspired recipe. And that's something that is really beautiful. If you're in America right now at the moment, wherever you are, you know that even depends of the region you can be. In the States, you can have different influence when it comes to the food. But that's really something amazing. So don't be afraid often to just explore the food in your area when you travel, just to try different food. We have more and more plant-based options around the world. And most of the time, if you go in a place where someone is passionate about food, is passionate about what he's doing, if you ask for if they don't have any vegan option, if you have for a vegan option, I had this experience so many times. It could happen in Spain, and the cook are just like so enthusiastic to create something new. And this is what we're doing right now. We're creating and we're cooking something new. We have these dumplings that are cooking. Make sure that at home you come and just have an eye on your dumplings and on your sauce. Really important, this is what we put baking powder. They have nearly double in size. I'm going to show you that soon, but so far they nearly have double in size. So the way I cook the rice, if you remember, I told you that I decided to just put it in the boiling water, a big volume of water. So what it's going to make here, I will need to drain it. So at home, if you do the rice exactly like me, make sure you have a drainer with you, and we're going to drain the rice in a second.
Nathan, is it possible we can see the dumplings again? We have people who are joining and they're like, what? I know that might mess with the cooking and all that, but maybe we can see
Okay.
it again. And the sauce. And maybe you can walk us through one more time. 'Cause like I said, we have Hundreds of people joining us as we go along. This is Lunch Break Live, y'all. We're coming to you live from London. I'm in California. Look at this. We're doing this. And Nathan-Josias is a trained chef. He trained in France, has spent time, I'm sorry, he's trained in Spain, has spent time in France, headed to Germany. My goodness, here we go. Okay, we're
I'm
going to find
moving
out.
around.
Yes,
Okay.
you're moving around. Here we go.
Okay, I need to show you that. I need to show you how they've doubled in size. So we had the original dumplings that was really small. So we have the sauce at the same time. They're just like running all around. It's beautiful. And look at how big our dumplings are right now. It's just amazing. It's gonna be. It's really. I love to see the process of food. Right now, it's what we're doing. It's really interesting if you're at home to see the process of your food from scratch. We made everything from scratch today, except the sriracha mayo. That's, as I told you, it's really simple. Just have to have your mayo that you can make at home. I think it would be really interesting in a lunch break to share you a good vegan mayo recipe. And if not, you can head to my Instagram to find one. And all you have to do everything from scratch. And I love seeing this process, like having all the ingredients, then having the small dumplings, and in less than 2 minutes, we're gonna have big and delicious dumplings.
Oh my gosh, are you going to be tasting them today? I hope we get to see you try them. I want to give everybody a heads up that you can head over and find Nathan-Josias at his Instagram, Outstanding Vegan. He also has Nathan_Josiah, but I know he's really building Outstanding Vegan. So, go follow him, give him a follow, give him a shout out, tell him how much you appreciated the show. Also, you can add in here any comments that you may have. And I want to let you also know, everybody, that we're going to have this printable recipe and thousands of more that are available for you to share out to your friends, your family. It's on janeunchained.com. Plus, we have just a plethora of information there that is going to guide you if you're on your way to the vegan journey or you're curious about plant-based. We have hundreds of recipes and more. And there's lots of informational reports and interviews and stories there that you will get informed. Okay, how close are we? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, okay, back to London, I guess. So we're gonna drain the rice. First step, the rice is cooked. Just gonna drain it, let it sit for a few moments here. It's cooling down, it's perfect. Let's open our dumplings. Oh, this is the realm of flavors. The smells are different, so Asian. It's like this peanut smell is really heavy and delicious at the same time. I feel like I'm already eating. As I told you, it's now time to add the spinach to the sauce. So I'm gonna add my baby spinach. Stop. Make sure to have extra taste to add the pepper right now. I grind a bit more pepper. I use a mix of different bay. In French, mélange de trois poivres. So it's a mix of 3 different types of pepper. We have red one, we have black one, and we have one of my favorites that can be found because I'm really excited to share that with you. The white pepper. White pepper is really often used in African cuisine. I know that in Cameroon we use a lot of white pepper. So I'm gonna add a bit of white pepper right now. If you don't have it at home, it's not really common. It's not an issue. No worries. It's just for the extra taste. Okay, I mix all together. The dumplings are gonna be delicious. Let's add the other half of the lime juice. Press it all over the dish. And except if you're strong as Hercules, you should have a bit of juice left to just sprinkles on top of the rice when everything will be ready. I give it last stir and I'm gonna start already to serve the rice, and at home you can do so. So just take the rice that is drained right here. I'm gonna go for a few tablespoons right here. Choose your favorite plate. Choose a plate that reminds me, because of the gray, that remind me of Asia. I want to travel in Asia today. Okay, I had a pho for lunch. You right now, because I'm in London, it's the evening. Is going to be my dinner. But if you're in the States, you're having lunch break at the moment, and dinner is just and lunch is just about to be served. Okay, I have my rice right here. Let me show you the dumplings one more time before I put them in the plate. With the spinach, everything together, and I don't know if you can see the size of these dumplings. I find it really impressive to have such big dumplings only after 20 minutes. Look at the size of these dumplings. These are real baby monsters. And you can see the on
Look,
top.
oh, those look delicious. My
They
gosh.
are amazing. Oh, and the sauce, the importance to have a full fat coconut milk, because you want to make sure that everything is going to thicken all together. Okay, try to don't burn yourself like I just did. And we're going to serve our dumplings. They are gorgeous. I'm going to go because I'm a gourmet. This is why I started to cook in my life. And if you're here right now for lunch break on Gen Unchained News, that means that you like food too. So let's go for about 3 dumplings.
Okay, and we have a quick question about the rice, because this gal just joined, Frida Vegan. She says, what kind of rice is this? Basmati, jasmine? Can you repeat that for everybody, please?
Yeah, definitely a pleasure. So the rice I decided to use is a whole grain rice. It's one of the rice I like the most. I love to digest it, at the same time really easy for me. If you're at home, you want to add extra flavors, just go for a basmati one. But feel free, just go for your favorite rice. There are no restriction here. You just go for the rice that you think will be good with this dish. I personally recommend basmati if you don't want a whole grain rice. And right here, this peanut sauce that smells delicious. We have the onions. Don't forget we have the onions in it. I'm just going to drizzle the sauce on top of these delicious dumplings. A bit on the rice also. And I remember this is coriander dumplings. So if you don't like coriander, just go for any other herbs, fresh herbs. Just gonna add a bit of fresh coriander on the top to add a bit of freshness to my dish. If you want to replace the coriander with mint, it's possible at home. Just feel free to do so. Right here, cut a small slice of lemon, told you, of lime. We still have a lot of taste in it. Place it, and right here we have the dish. If you give me just a second, I will bring you some amazing light for you to see the dish. Unfortunately, my additional light just turned off. But you need to see this dish in high quality. Let's go.
If you are joining us just now, we are vegans having a great time here with this plant-based dish. Oh my gosh, where'd you go? He's coming right back, y'all. He'll be right back.
Amazing. More lights.
Take a look at this delicious vegan dumplings, everybody. Oh my gosh. And we're going to wind up. What a beautiful plate. Look at Lunch Break Live coming to you live. Oh, sweetie, these look scrumptious. Oh,
These look
yes.
just
We'll take
amazing.
it from here. Yes, thank you for joining us, everybody, on Lunch Break Live. Why? While Nathan-Josias takes a bite. Oh,
A bit of
scrumptious.
rice.
Woo!
Mm. I might eat them all.
Thanks, everybody, for being here on Lunch Break Live. You will definitely find this recipe on janeunchained.com tomorrow. Take a look. We tried to get it up by today, but we'll see. And printable recipe, you can go back and watch the show, take notes if you like. We are so excited to have you here with us daily. Thank you again. And thank you. I hope to see you again. I hope you'll come again and do another show if you're willing. We love having you.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to share this recipe. Make sure that you try it and let us know in the comments and in the future post.
Absolutely. One more time with the dish. You don't have to come close, but just show us real close. Here we go. Oh, yes. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks again. Bye.